A big part of switching to privacy-respecting, open, and responsible technology is to also switch your mobile devices, including your tablet. In a previous video, I went over the options for open source and privacy-respecting tablets, including an overview of pure Linux-powered tablets, such as the ThinkPad A1, as well as Android tablets. Now, whilst a pure Linux-powered tablet like the ThinkPad would be ideal, these tablets are currently not mature enough to be used as daily drivers. So until these tablets mature, your best option is to buy an Android tablet, but then flash it with a more privacy-respecting operating system. In our case, EOS. In this video, I'll give you a brief overview of EOS and then show you how to install it on your Samsung Galaxy S6 Lite tablet. Now, if you don't have a Samsung Galaxy S6 Lite, well, the process is gonna be pretty similar, so there's still something here for you. So let's get started. The E Foundation is spearheaded by Gaël Duval, a French entrepreneur who created Mandrake Linux back in 1998, later renamed to Mandriva. Now, people new to Linux might not remember Mandrake, but in the late 90s, Mandrake was the Ubuntu of the Linux world. In 2017, Duval started working on the E mobile operating system, a privacy-oriented fork of the Android-based Lineage OS. Now, Lineage OS itself was created to keep updating versions of Android for older devices. In 2018, Duval set up the E Foundation to maintain the E operating system, as well as E Corp SAS, which operates sales and services. The E Manifesto explains in a few words why E was created. The manifesto considers communications networks, operating systems, and basic online services as basic infrastructure, and therefore does not accept that this core infrastructure should be exclusively owned and operated by a few private companies. Although not specifically mentioned in the manifesto, one can read private companies as Google, Microsoft, and Apple. To this end, the E project aims to create an open source mobile operating system for phones, tablets, computers, wearables, and IoT devices. But not just that, they also want to create the services to power an open ecosystem, including an app store, email, cloud storage, search, and an AI assistant. To meet their ends, the E Foundation has two main projects. One is EOS. This is a completely de-Googled version of Android for use on smartphones and tablets. The OS has removed all references to Google, including replacing the default search engine, replacing Google services, and even using different servers for network time, DNS, and GPS. Despite this, EOS maintains compatibility with the majority of Android apps and even provides an app store for installing these apps. All apps on the store have a privacy rating. E Foundation also offers eCloud, a totally optional cloud service, which you can use in conjunction with EOS and, of course, other devices. You can think of eCloud as an open source version of iCloud or Microsoft 365. Based on Nextcloud, the service offers email, contacts, calendaring, notes, reminders, a photo gallery, and online office, as well as other services. Like many other cloud services, a free plan is available with 1 gig of storage, and plans start at €199 a month for a 20 GB space. Now, there are three ways you can start using EOS. The easiest way is to buy a device directly from E themselves. The Murina line of smartphones consists of rebranded phones with EOS pre-installed, some being brand new, others being refurbished. Buying a smartphone directly from E saves you the hassle of installing it yourself and ensures it is supported, as well as contributing to the E Foundation. Another relatively easy way to get the OS is to use their Easy Installer, which is currently in beta. This is a tool available for Linux and Windows, which lets you automatically install EOS on a supported device. This is how I intended to install E on my Fairphone 4 once available, so make sure you're subscribed to not miss that. Unfortunately, the list of devices the installer works with is small and doesn't include any tablets. So the third and final option is to install EOS yourself the hard way. The first step is to buy a device which is known to be compatible with EOS. The forum post on screen now shows a list of compatible tablets. I have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, which is, at the time of making this video, the most recently released tablet which is also supported. For each tablet, you'll then get an installation guide which shows you how to get EOS installed. In this video, I'll be following this guide to get the EOS installed on my tablet. It's not easy, and also not for the faint-hearted, so let's hope this goes well. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure we have the latest version of the stock Android software installed on the tablet. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll unlock this guy. And now I'll go to Settings. And I'll go to Software Update. Download and install, and I'll just make sure that there are no further updates, and as you can see here it says your software is up to date. So that's a step that I've already done, but you will need to make sure that you're doing this. Now the next step is to enable developer mode. Okay, so what we want to do is go to About here in the tablet. Okay, so now I'll go to Software Information, and you can see a build number there. So you just need to tap on that 7 times. Okay, and I'll need to enter my current PIN. And as you can see, developer mode has now been enabled. So now I can go back to settings, and you can see here that there is developer options, which have now been enabled. And we also need to enable USB debugging, which is this setting here. So I'll go ahead and enable that, and I'll tap OK. And I will allow access to tablet data for the laptop that my tablet is connected to. Now the other thing we want to enable is OEM unlock. Okay, so it should be somewhere here. Here we are, OEM unlocking, and we'll enable this, and again I'll need to confirm with my PIN. And enable. Okay, so all of the options that I need from the tablet side are done. Okay, so the next thing we'll need to do is download some platform tools from the Google website, okay, from the Android developer website. So the link for this will be down in the video description, but basically the website we want is this one here. And as you can see, there are downloads for Windows, Mac, and Linux. In my case, I'm going to download the Linux tools because that's what I'm using, but you can also do this on Windows and Mac. Now, for those of you who are using Linux like me, it's always preferable, according to the EOS guide, to download the tools directly from Google's website, so you make sure you get the latest version. Okay, so those should have downloaded now, and they are here. So I'm going to go ahead and extract them. And you can see that here there is the platform tools folder, and we're going to need to use 2 of these utilities, which are ADB and Fastboot. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do here is I am going to copy the platform tools folder to a folder I have here, and I'm going to add that folder to my path. Okay, so obviously at this point, if I type ADB, nothing happens. So I'm gonna say export path equals path home Keith bin platform tools. Okay, so you can do this on macOS and Linux. In the case of Windows, you'll need to add these to your environment variables. But then again, for Windows, you can have an installer, okay, which can do it for you as well. Okay. So now if I type ADB, yep, as you can see, information comes up. Okay. So the next step is to download the E-ROM. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I am using a guide, and the guide points me here to this page, where, as you can see, there is a zip file, which is the recovery which is the actual EOS, and then there is this recovery file here. So I'll need to download both of them. So I'll go ahead and do that. This one's 947 megs, and this one is 67 megs. So I'll just wait a few seconds for those downloads to finish. Now, in the meantime, we also need to download another tool called Heimdall, or Heimdall, or something like that. But anyway, the link will be down in the video description. Okay, and this guide here basically shows you what you need to do to download it and to install it on Windows, Mac. Actually, it doesn't work on Windows, okay, but you can build it yourself if you are that technically inclined. It's also available for Linux and Mac OS. So I'm just gonna click here to download it, and in my case, I'm gonna download it for Ubuntu. So now if we go to my downloads folder, so here I have Heimdall, the recovery image, as well as the EOS download, okay? So those are pretty much the tools that I need. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get Heimdall installed. And again, there are instructions back here for Ubuntu and Mac, okay? So in my case, I'll go to my downloads folder, and I will unzip Heimdall into the temporary directory. There we go. And now I'll copy Heimdall everything to my user bin folder. And I'll need to enter my password. Okie dokie. And now I will remove the temporary file. Okay, and now I should be able to say Heimdall info. Yep, and here we go, Heimdall version 1.4.2 blah blah blah, just as it says here in the documentation. Okay, so for the next step, we will need to boot the tablet into download mode. So what you need to do is, if your USB cable is already plugged into the tablet, go ahead and unplug it. I'm just going to show you here, removing it. Okay. And now we'll need to power off the tablet and power off. Tap again to power off. So now I'll need to boot into download mode, and this is done by holding down the volume up and volume down buttons whilst simultaneously inserting the USB cable. Now this is a bit tricky to do, so I'll see how well I can do this. So I'm holding down volume up and down. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this cover here, making it a bit easier. So I'll hold volume up and down, and at the same time connect the USB cable. Okay, and we get a warning here. Okay, and it says a custom OS can cause critical problems on the device, blah, 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 blah. If you want to download a custom OS, press the volume up key, otherwise press the volume down key. So I'm gonna press the volume up key. And we get into downloading mode on the tablet. Now, from my computer, I will type Heimdall print-pit. Okay, and that didn't work. I think I need to be root for this to work, so let me try that again. So Heimdall print-pit. Okay, some devices may take up to 2 minutes to... Okay, and the tablet is rebooting, as you can see here. Okay, and as you can see, we reboot back into the stock firmware. So now what we need to do is repeat the same process to go back into download mode. Okay, so what I need to do is, again, power off the tablet. I'll start by disconnecting the USB cable. Okay. And again, just like before, I'll hold down the volume up and down buttons whilst inserting the USB cable. And we get back to this screen here. Okay, now the important thing here, look at what the instructions are saying, because this got me a few times whilst trying this out. It says volume up continue, volume up long press, device unlock mode. That's what we want. So make sure you press the volume up button for a while. Unlock bootloader, and we'll say volume up for yes. Okay, this tablet's bootloader is unlocked and its software integrity can't be verified, blah, 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 blah. Press the power key to continue. And we get to this Samsung screen. Okay, so after a while we get back here. So now what we need to do, and this is the annoying part, is go through setup again as quickly as possible. So I'm just gonna set this to English, like so. Start. I have read and agree, blah, blah, blah. And now we need to go back to settings. Scroll down to About Tablet, Software Information, and re-tap the build number 7 times. Go to Developer Options and verify that OEM unlocking is enabled. Now, as you can see, it's enabled and it cannot be disabled at this point. That's exactly what we want. Okay, so at this point, we will again unplug the USB cable and we will power off the device. And now we need to power it back on in download mode. So just as before, we'll hold the volume up and down keys and plug in the USB cable. We get the warning screen, press volume up to continue. And as you can see, OEM lock is off and we are in this downloading mode. So now from the computer, as you can see, I'm in the downloads folder. And I have the recovery image right here, the one .img. So we'll need to say Heimdall flash -- recovery in caps, the file name, which is that guy, -- no -reboot. And I guess it helps if you spell it correctly. Okay, so it says recovery upload successful and releasing device interface. So now comes the tricky part. We need to press the volume down and power key for 7 seconds and then immediately switch to pressing volume up and power. Okay, so this gets us into recovery mode. So now we can use the volume buttons to scroll. We'll go to factory reset. And we'll choose this option here, format data, factory reset. And we'll say, go ahead and format data. And as you can see down here, it says data wipe complete. Okay, we'll tap back. Now we'll choose apply update and we'll choose apply from ADB. Okay, and so now it tells us now send the data to the device using ADB sideload. So now I can exit from root and do ADB devices. And as you can see, the device is detected in sideload mode. Okay, and we basically need to flash this zip file here. So we'll say ADB sideload, then the file name, which is that guy. And as you can see, this is now being flashed. Now, as you can see on the tablet here, it says script succeeded, result was 1 point and a bunch of zeros. Now, if we look at the computer side though, it says ADB failed to read command, success. So, I guess it worked, but it's being detected as an error. So, we'll see what happens. So, no problem. Now, we'll go back to the main screen by tapping back here. And we'll say reboot system now. And hopefully this should boot us into EOS. Yes, all right. And there we are, folks. Our tablet is now running EOS. And obviously at this point you can go through the setup process. This will involve connecting an eCloud account if you have one. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to connect my Nextcloud account. But it wasn't easy, but we got there. There you have it. My tablet is now happily running EOS. As you've seen in the video, this is not the easiest process in the world. And to be honest, I had to jump through a few hoops to make it look as seamless as it did on the video. I would suggest that if you're not technical, you simply buy a Marina smartphone from E themselves, which comes with EOS pre-installed. That being said, for tablets, this hardware I've shown you today is currently the only way you can get EOS. So I hope that this video at least makes it easier for you, especially if you have a very popular Samsung tablet. If you found this video useful or at least interesting enough that you've learned something, why not give the video a like and subscribe to Tech Guru? These videos take a lot of research, effort, and time to make, so subscribing really helps to keep me motivated. Besides time and effort, these videos also cost me money, like I had to buy the tablet. So if you want to support me financially, like the great people on screen now, please consider subscribing to me on Patreon. Patrons get early access to videos, their name in the credits, an exclusive chat room, the ability to suggest videos, and even technical support. If you're even a little technical, I encourage you to follow today's guide and let me know how it goes down in the comments below. Remember, you can also watch Tech Guru videos on Odyssey if you want to avoid using YouTube. Well, that's it for now, and as always, thanks for watching.